Hi friends, today I'm going to read you another story all about rabbits, and this story is called Muncha, Muncha, Muncha. But before I get started, I wanted to talk to you about a few words that are mentioned in the story. The first word that they say is gnaw, and gnaw means to bite or chew something for a really long time. Can you guys say gnaw? Gnaw like this little lion that's gnawing on his piece of wood. That's like a toy. Your dog might gnaw on their toys. And then the second word is trench. And trench is kind of a tricky word. And trench is a long, narrow hole in the ground. So sometimes you'll see trenches when they're building houses or something like that. And in this story, one of the characters is going to build a trench. Okay, my question of the day today is, do you like carrots? So talk to a family member, or you can choose to write it down if you want to write it in a sentence. Make sure you use a complete sentence. Yes, I do like carrots, or no, I don't like carrots. Miss Perry loves carrots, especially dipped in ranch. I like really cold carrots in ranch, and I also like cooked carrots. Cooked carrots are good. Okay, today I'm going to read you Muncha, Muncha, Muncha by Candace Fleming, illustrated by G. Brian Karras. I love the pictures in this story. Here's a carrot, if you guys like carrots. Looks like there's some little munches out of that. For years, oh, you know what, friends? I'm gonna take the book jacket off. It's the same. Okay. For years, Mr. McGreely dreamed of planting a garden. He dreamed of getting his hands dirty, of growing yummy vegetables, and of gobbling them all up. This spring, said Mr. McGreely, this spring, by golly, I'm going to plant a garden. So he hoed and he sowed, and he watched his garden grow. Friends, remember, hoed and sowed is what you do when you're planting. So hoeing is like digging a hole, and then sowing is putting the seeds in the hole. Lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes. Yum, yum, yummy, said Mr. McGreely. I'll soon fill my tummy with crisp, fresh veggies. You know what I'm noticing on this page are these little turkeys right here. I wonder what they're going to be up to. But one night, when the sun went down and the moon came up, 3 hungry bunnies appeared. Tippy, 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 pat. Muncha, muncha, muncha. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his gnawed sprouts, he was angry. So he built a small wire fence all around the vegetable garden. There, he declared, no bunny can get into my garden now. I still see the bunnies. They're spying on him over here. And the sun went down and the moon came up, and tippy, 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 pat, spring, hurdle, dash, 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 muncha, muncha, muncha. Those little rabbits are sure cute. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his nibbled leaves and gnawed sprouts, there's that word gnawed, he was very angry. So he built a tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. He huffed. Those flop ears will never get over it. No bunny can get into my garden now. These little bunnies are spying on him on every single page. I keep seeing them, even when he thinks they're not looking. And when the sun went down and the moon came up, tippy, 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 pat, dig, scrabble, scratch, 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 spring, hurdle, dash, 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 muncha, muncha, muncha. still eating his food. And Mr. McGreely is dreaming of a carrot, it looks like. He's thinking about it in his bed. The next morning when Mr. McGreely saw his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was really, really angry. So he made a deep, wet trench outside of the tall wooden wall behind the small wire fence all around his vegetable garden. "Ha!" he snorted. "Those pufftails can't get under it. They can't go over it. No bunny can get into my garden now." He thinks he's got it. What do you guys think? Do you think the bunny rabbits are going to find a way to get in? Let's see. And the sun went down and the moon came up and tippy, 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 pat, dive, paddle, splash, 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 dig, scrabble, scratch, 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 spring, hurdle, dash, 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 muncha, muncha, muncha. They found a way to get in. He's going to have to be a lot smarter than that for those little bunny rabbits. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his chomped blossoms, his chewed stems, his nibbled leaves, and his gnawed sprouts, he was furious. So he hammered and blocked, sawed and stalked, drilled and filled, tapped and locked, and he built a huge, enormous thing before the deep, wet trench, outside the tall wooden wall, behind the small wire fence, all around his vegetable garden. "I've outsmarted those twitch whiskers for sure," he exclaimed. "They can't get through it, they can't get under it, and they can't get over it. No bunny, no way, no how can get into my vegetable garden now." He thinks he's got it figured out. Now, do you guys think the bunnies will find a way in now? Look at all this on the top. But I still see them watching. And when the sun went down and the moon came up, tippy, 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 stop. The 3 hungry bunnies looked and smelled and touched the huge, enormous thing before them. And tippy, 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 pat, the bunnies hopped away. Aw, I don't think they could get in. We know these bunnies better than that, though. I think they've got a backup plan. The next morning, when Mr. McGreely saw his untouched vegetables, he was happy. Finally, he gets all of his veggies to himself. "I beat the bunnies!" he whooped, and he did a jiggly wiggly victory dance. Then he climbed over, jumped across, squeezed between, and crawled under until he reached his vegetable garden. "Ah," sighed Mr. McGreely, "at last." Smacking his lips, he picked up and pulled a lettuce, carrots, peas, tomatoes, and with his basket overflowing, he reached inside for something yummy. What do you guys notice about the picture right here? Can you guys see what's going on in there? Or over here? Uh-oh. Muncha, muncha, muncha. Who is in the basket? Those silly little bunny rabbits. The end. Looks like Mr. McGreely finally decided to share, huh? Okay, what did you guys think of this story? Don't forget to tell me if you like carrots or not. Okay, I'll see you for our next story.